talk about the Saucony Endorphin Speed 5. Again, this is another level above that shoe. The ride is more responsive, it's more bouncy. The rocker is a little bit more aggressive. It's a faster shoe and it feels nice and smooth just jogging around as well. So a solid speed session and a bit of a medium long run done and dusted in this shoe. Now this is the BMAI Carbon Fly Plus and these are my first impressions. But before we get into it, if you guys haven't done so already and you want to support the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now before we get into it, shout out to the subscriber out there who did recommend me this shoe. I think it's Billy Chook, so thank you for this one because this one hasn't let me down. So this BMAI Carbon Fly Plus is also known as the JINGTAN Fly Plus in other parts of the world. I hope I pronounced that correctly. But with the specs, it's a neutral road running shoe, certainly marketed in that up-tempo range. As a workout shoe, certainly as a race shoe as well, but the website also claims you can do some daily training in it as well. Now, in the price, get this. So I picked this up on Taobao's app. So they've got a worldwide app now, which I've discovered, which is all in English. Absolutely love it. $153 delivered to Australia, and I think that equates to about $100 in the US. Not too sure about what that equates to in the euro. In the weight, crazy lightweight package here, 199 grams, 7 ounces. Now that's my size. This is a Euro 41. And in the stack, so we've got 36 in the rear, 29 in the front, 7mm drop. That's what the website says. But they also say that that doesn't include the 3mm sock liner or the insole. So I believe the Western brands include that in their stack height measurement. So if we're including that, it's, you know, it's going to have a 39mm stack, and that's probably where it feels like to me. And in the upper, so the material that they're using here is what they call kite yarn. Now, looking closely at it, it really looks like a super fine mesh. It feels like it's got some good quality about it as well. They do say it's tear resistant, but I tell you what it is incredibly breathable. I absolutely love it. Pretty solid heel counter at the back here, a little pull tab here. Surprisingly, I'm going to say a medium to a plush amount of padding around the heel collar, but super comfortable around there, no issues. With our tongue, it's really thin. The majority of the tongue is meshed, so it doesn't restrict the airflow through the rest of the shoe. It's not gusseted, but it is held in by a few places in the lacing system, and it hasn't moved around for me. With our lacing system, very standard eyelets either side. They've got those notched shoelaces that they use in some of the Western brands in their racing models, so I really like that. Now, lockdown. This is one of the best on the market. It is absolutely perfect, beautiful through the midfoot, not a bit of heel slippage in the back. I absolutely love it. And in the fit, this shoe feels like it's been custom made for my foot. So it has got a nice rounded toe box. So kind of similar shape to what you're going to find in the Nike Zoom Fly 6. So I love the shape of that toe box. We've got the same thing going on here. It is pristine. But for me, I'm usually a Euro 42 in the Western brands. I ordered the Euro 41 in this shoe and it fits me like the normal Euro 42 or an 8.5. But it is dialed in to me. So it is absolutely perfect in the length. Width is just perfect as well, and the perfect amount of toe box volume. So there's no sagging, no anything with this upper. I must say the whole shoe has just got outstanding build quality. So I am quite surprised, especially with the amount of money that you're paying in this shoe. So the build quality is up there with the best, and the actual materials that they use, they feel more quality than pretty much most of the Western brands out there. And in the outsole, so we've got a full CPE covering here. So one big segment that I am not usually a fan of. However, I haven't really found it restricting the ride at all. So the tread pattern on it, they call it this diamond star type pattern. So to the touch, it's quite firm, but it's not too tappy or slappy out in the road. My 2 runs in this shoe so far, so my speed workout was actually done in some pretty wet conditions, and I must say it held up pretty well. Not quite as good as Puma Grip out there, but it's pretty much not far behind it. I did have some wooden boardwalks that this thing still didn't slide away, so pretty impressive there. Now in the durability department, this covering, I think it feels quite good, so I'm going to make the call early that the durability is going to be quite good in the shoe. Another little feature here through the bottom, they've got this huge crevice through the bottom of the shoe there where you can see that exposed carbon plate. And in the midsole, so the foam they're using here is what they call Boom Fly. Now this version of Boom Fly is actually an ATP U foam. Super critical is what they say on the website. To look at it, it actually looks like it's a beaded foam as well, which is quite interesting. So it kind of looks like Power Run PB, but I must say it does feel different when you're running in the shoe. Now sandwiched between that, they've got a full length carbon plate. That's a pretty chunky plate as well, so pretty wide in the forefoot there, so it does create a bit of stability in the shoe. Stiffness wise, it's a pretty rigid shoe, which is quite interesting considering the way that it rides, which I'll cover later. Now in the geometry, now this thing is beautiful. So I'm going to say a bit of an early stage rocker, and I'm going to say it's like a little aggressive rocker. It's not like an early big sweeping forward rocker like you're going to find in the Adios Pro 4. It's not like that. It starts a little bit later than that, but it's got this real little aggressive sweep forward. Kind of the geometry that is in the Hoka Rocket X3, and maybe a little bit like the Asics Metaspeed Ray, if you're running those shoes and you sort of know where the tip point is in that shoe, but that's sort of where it is here, but I absolutely love it there. Before we get into the ride, I will just explain the testing that I've done so far in the shoe. So I always put a race day shoe or a workout shoe through the standard speed test that I've got. It's 2x1K, 2x800, 600 meters, 400, 200, you get the gist, and I just take it through the pace ranges, say your marathon pace, half marathon pace, 10K, 5K, you get the gist, just so I can get a good feel of where the shoe best fits for the way that I run. I also did the warm up and cool down in the shoe, and today I also done a medium and long run in the shoe as a result of my first feelings with the speed session the day before. So how did it perform? Well, I must say I was most surprised with how it actually performed in the warm-up. So usually a shoe that has got a really stiff carbon plate, engineered for speed, usually feels clunky on the warm-up, so I usually prefer to warm up in a daily trainer and then change into the speed shoe. But because the website claimed that it was good for daily training, I thought I'd give it a go. So very surprised, it did not feel clunky at all. It felt quite smooth, quite efficient, nice and soft through the heel, but also a really nice roll forward. So the geometry isn't just engineered and just doesn't feel good at the faster stuff, it also accommodated the slower stuff. So my warm-up was anywhere from 5:15s up until about 5 minute per kilometre pace, and it felt just amazing, and that got me a little bit worried that if it feels so good at those slow paces, it's probably not going to feel that good when you pick up the pace. However, speed test, done and dusted, it felt great at pretty much all those paces. I think marathon pace, it felt really, really nice. Handled half marathon pace, just as good. 5K, 10K, brilliant. It probably does lack the real top end explosive, aggressive speed that you're going to find in the top tier race shoes, but I'll tell you what, performance wise, for $150, this thing has blown me out of the water. So bang for buck here is absolutely off the charts. But just to confirm my feelings of how nice this shoe did feel at the jogging paces, I had to take it out again this morning. I took it out for a medium long run. I think it was about 17 kilometers, just to confirm that I wasn't getting carried away with how it did feel in the warm-up. And I must say, on the run this morning, it was just as good. So it is a really nice running shoe, and I'll happily agree with what the website claims, that yes, workouts, races, 100%, but you can also jog in the shoe, but certainly not engineered for that, but it's not a clunky shoe at all. Really, really nice right at those slower paces. So how does the foam feel? So it's soft, or it's got a little bit of squish through the heel, but it's not like sloppy or anything like that. But it's got some real bounce out of the heel, because this foam is responsive. It's so bouncy. It's really snappy off the forefoot. It's very propulsive. So whatever is going on here with the rear, with the bounce through the rear, because we've got that big cavity, so it feels a little bit softer through the rear. But the way that is just, I think it's just coordinated with the geometry of the shoe. So you're coming out of the softer, more responsive heel, and I tell you what, it's just perfectly timed of how you roll off this rocker, and it just feels really propulsive. I feel super efficient in the shoe. It's quite stable, even though it's quite a thin shoe. Didn't have any real stability issues with it, but I think some people who need a lot of stability may just be a little bit cautious with this one. But overall, it's pretty much blown me out of the water. So I can't get over how nice this shoe feels. for the price point that it comes out at. So what I'm liking in the shoe is absolutely everything in the shoe. Love the price point, the weight, the ride, the outsole, the upper, the midsole, geometry, you name it. I love it. So just wrapping up my first impressions here. So first and foremost, this is the best Chinese shoe that I have run in so far. So I haven't run in a lot and I've still got a lot to test, but so far this is the best. So you can look through the channel and check the other ones that I've tested, but so far this is the number one. So what we're talking about here is the caliber of where I put this shoe. So where it rates in comparison to the Western brands. So if I put this up against workout shoes, so this is levels above those. So talk about the Magic Speed 4. This is levels above that shoe. Levels above in build quality, foam, ride, obviously in price as well, and in weight. So this blows the Magic Speed 4 out of the water. Talk about the Saucony Endorphin Speed 5. Again, this is another level above that shoe. The ride is more responsive. It's more bouncy. The rocker is a little bit more aggressive. It's a faster shoe and it feels nice and smooth just jogging around as well. So you give me those two shoes to pick and I'm going to pick this shoe. So that's where this shoe is for me. And when we're talking about race shoes, so I put this up with race day shoes. So the Hoka Rocket X3, I think it's on about the same level as this shoe. The Rocket X3, a little bit softer than this shoe, but this shoe's got more explosive bounce. It's more responsive, similar type of geometry. And also the Saucony Endorphin Pro 4. So I think this shoe is better than that shoe, hands down. And I don't need to go on about the price difference. So really good signs here with this shoe. I can't wait to test the rest of these Chinese shoes. If this is how they're coming out, this is absolutely amazing. But great signs here. This one is going to get to 100 kilometers really, really quickly. And for me, this is an absolute banger. So it's probably, if you're going to have this as a workout shoe, this will be the best on the market, I think. Better than the Western brands, hands down as a workout shoe. Not quite there as a top tier race shoe, but to tell you what, it's not far behind them. But anyway, guys, that's it from me. Any questions you've got regarding this shoe, how it relates to anything else, hit me up in the comments. Thanks for watching. Make sure you give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.